So who has the stronger testimony here? Is it Taylor Shomaker, the former girlfriend, or is it Curtis Wright, the alleged accomplice in this case? I asked an attorney about this, as well as how likely there is to be an appeal in this case if Jimmy Rodgers is found guilty. Listen to what Mike Chinopoulos had to say. It seems by the defense asking for so many different mistrials in this case, they're starting to lay the framework for an appeal.
I think that's right. They've asked for a mistrial, and what that means is the jury has been so tainted that they can't be fair and they can't render a fair verdict in the case. And Judge Kyle said, no, I'm going to exclude this information and I'll give a limiting instruction to the jury at closing, but no, it's not going to be a mistrial. And so what that means is they're guaranteed an appeal because they at least have one issue to take up.
They're guaranteed an appeal. And in this case, they've already asked for at least two mistrials, one for the issue of prejudice, one for the issue revolving the right to remain silent. So is that going to be the focus of their appeal likely?
I would think so. I would think those two issues at least, and there's probably more issues coming during the trial. Remember, the role of an appellate court is to look at what the trial judge did and determine if it was right. But here's the thing, when you win on appeal, you can actually win your case. You win the right to come back and get to try it over again in front of the same judge.
Is there a limit to how many appeals you can make in a case like this?
There's not. There's a limit to the types of issues that can be appealed, but not a limit to the number of issues.
Right, and who do you think has the stronger testimony here between Curtis Wright and Jimmy Rodgers' girlfriend? Because you have to remember, Curtis Wright took a plea deal, so that might call into question the credibility of his statement. But then again, Taylor Shomaker is getting that witness assistance, which the defense is trying to claim wrecks the credibility of her statement. So which one do you think is the stronger statement for the state?
I think the stronger statement for the state is probably the girlfriend, because everybody's going to say, well, they're going to factor in that he was getting a deal and he was saving himself. So they're going to factor that in, where the girlfriend, she doesn't really have a dog in the fight. Maybe she's getting some witness assistance or something, but she's not getting a deal. She's not saving her life. She's not saving herself from prison. I think she's going to be perceived as the more credible. And remember, after the state rests their case, the defense gets to put on their whole case. Then in closing, the state gets to argue twice because they have the burden of proving the defendant was guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. He doesn't have to prove he wasn't guilty.